But hello, everyone. How is you all doing? I thought I'd pull this live stream this morning. Well, I'm hoping I've got this right. I've set this laptop to like automatic time zone, so it should be 8 o'clock in the evening where you are if you're in England. Over here, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I had to set an alarm to get my lazy ass out of bed. Yeah, I'm going to probably stay on this live stream for, I should think, an hour, and then I'm going to have to go because we're going to take a little trip down the road where we're going to catch the sunrise, which is something we just don't seem to really do anymore. So I'm going to do it this morning. So I'll have to keep reminding myself to sort of like not go on for too long. Otherwise, it's going to get light because it's at the moment it's like it's pitch black outside. So anyway, let's have a look who's here. What's this saying? It's StreamYard giving me prompts to. I don't need to know that. Mr. Dave. Good evening, Alan. Sadly, won't be able to catch the live stream. I'm just going out on the piss now. It's Saturday night, isn't it? It's Saturday night in England. Yeah. We'll watch tomorrow. Really enjoyed your latest series of videos. Anyway, keep up the good work. Yeah. Saturday night in England. Here, it's Sunday morning. Oh, my God. It's getting your head around it. Vivian. Hello, Vivian. How are you? How's it going? Hi, Kenneth, Alan, Nicole, and Tyler. Greetings from sunny Lincolnshire. Across the miles. Really enjoyed your updates. Have a great time, guys. Cheers for now. Well, thank you very much, Vivian. I hope you're doing well over there. How's Kevin doing as well? Yeah, it's a lot of distance. It's about, I think it's around about 6,500 miles. And boy, I'm telling you, when you get the plane over here, it's the first part of the flight was 12 hours long. And although the plane, it was a big plane, it was like, it still wasn't that much legroom because if you're in business class, you're laughing, you can recline your seat and all that sort of thing. But bloody hell, by the time we got to the end of that 12 hours, I was like, oh, I need to get off this. It's a bloody difficult it's an ordeal to say the least. Hello, Andy. Yes, we're all doing well. Trying to get my head around, well, I don't know about getting my head around. The food over here is challenging. I'm not used to it. Just absolutely not used to it. There's this in town. There was this great big indoor centre that you can just walk into, and there's big seating areas in the middle, and down both sides there must be 20 different independent stalls all selling food. They sell it all day long. And we went down there for breakfast, and it was all like, they all seem to be the same kind of dishes. Like things like, the one I can remember is like, they're selling chicken curry at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Adobo.
Chicken adobo, and all kinds of pork dishes and that. And I didn't know what any of them were. And it's like, I don't want this for breakfast. I just want something that I know. Couldn't even find it. Mind you, if you do look hard enough, you can find stuff that you're kind of used to over here. Well, where you are, like something simple like egg. You can get eggs, bacon, sausages, hash browns, stuff like that. It's not readily available. So you've got to be aware that over here, whatever food there is, you're going to have to go out and find it yourself. And if you go to a place like, there are McDonald's, Johnny B's and other restaurant places, and by the way, they are quite dirt cheap. You could, I've worked it out that you could probably go and eat out every single night and you wouldn't have to cook because it's probably cheaper just to eat out. Food is everywhere. You go down the road even late at night and there's little stalls all along the highway, people selling all different kinds of food. So you'd never go hungry. Even the markets here during the day, they sell vegetables, and it's like we got some vegetables the other day. It was just like potatoes, tomatoes, spring onions. The spring onions, bloody hell, they had a kick to them. They brought tears to my. You know, like when you cut an onion, these spring onions, we just done them as like a little salad, and it's like my eyes started streaming. They were so strong, but it is good food because they got all fresh stuff, and I think it just tastes better than what you get. Because I know in England, all the stuff you get on the supermarket, vegetables and that, are probably like they're not the quality that you used to get, but I think they're all genuine quality over here. They're better, but you've got to find it though. That's the thing. Who else have we got online? Hello, Steve. How are you? Is anyone going to ask a Mondeo? It's funny you should say that. Since I've been here, I have not seen a single Mondeo at all whatsoever. Zero. I mean, that's probably not true for the rest of the country. Remember, I am down south. I'm in Mindanao. So Mindanao, I guess, is a little bit different possibly to the rest of the Philippines. If you were to go up north to like the capital in Manila, you probably would see a Mondeo. I know Ken has got a friend who lives further up who does have a Mondeo. She thinks it's a Mark IV, but I don't think Ford is really like a player out here as far as cars go. I do see some Ford cars. We saw a Ford Fiesta a couple nights back, but it was a Ford Fiesta that I've never seen the likes of. It didn't even look like a Ford Fiesta. So this is the thing. Most of the cars I see out here, I haven't even heard of the models before. Like, you take a lot of people are driving pickups and SUVs and things. Like Ford Rangers is a common one. There's plenty of them out here. But yeah, there's another one called a Ford Everest SUVs, and I've never heard of that. So, but we see a lot of them out here. Mitsubishi Mirage was one we saw, two of them yesterday. There's so many different cars out here. I think they're all aimed at the Asian market, and we just don't see them in Europe. And you've literally got to sort of like stand by the side of the road and just watch them go by, and you think, what the hell is that? Then you look at the back of the car and you see the name, and you think, well, I've never heard of that name before. Anyway, Steve, good to hear from you. Did that duck embryo stay down? Will you be trying a durian? Dorian. The duck embryo, the duck fetus that I ate, it did stay down. I was not looking forward to doing that. I really wasn't, but it was fine. When you eat it, I think the key is, if you're not a Filipino, if you're a Western like me, is not to look at it, but you just eat it. It didn't taste that bad. If that was just a piece of chicken, say, you know, and cover it in breadcrumbs or something, you probably wouldn't know. It was all right. It wasn't that bad a taste. I mean, it's not the kind of taste I'd go gaga for, you know what I mean? I don't know. It was a bit bland, if you know what I mean. But it wasn't a nasty taste. So once I chewed it and it went down, that was it. It was gone. But the thing is, when a lot of people like me who come over here, you have to try these things. And the Filipino people, they like to see Westerners gag. I reckon they like to see you try these things. And I saw one guy. Dog outside. I saw one guy. He attempted to eat this egg, and he backed out in the end. And I'm thinking, well, it wasn't still crawling, it wasn't still alive, so it's only an egg. So how bad can it be? And it wasn't bad at all. So, At least I can say I've ticked that box. And the durian, that's the fruit with the spikes on it. Yes, I will be doing that next week. I'll pick a day next week and do that. Although I have had a tiny bit of durian, so just a very tiny bit. So I know what's coming. But I'll do a video on that and let you know what I think properly when I take a proper mouthful of it. I'm not looking forward to this one either. Hello, Paul. How are you? Hope you're all having it. Yeah, it's okay. We're doing all right. The trouble is, at the moment, it's just gone 3 a.m. It's like 23 degrees in here. I haven't got a fan on at the minute. There's air conditioning in here, plus we've got fans to keep cool, and normally have the fan on all night long. The mosquitoes are flipping loving me. I've been bit on my legs like you wouldn't believe. So I'm slapping myself with insect repellent at the minute. During the day, the last few days have been hot, and I mean really hot. Like, it's like you're finding it hard to flipping breathe at some points. It is that hot. If you try and exert yourself, don't even bother. You'll just be pouring with sweat. There's a Kenna here is trying to move her ducks from one little place where they're all housed to another field where there's a embankment that goes down into the stream. And we had a little bit of time making this little fence where you chop up the bamboo and you just put the bamboo in the ground to make this little fence. And you know what? As soon as the sun started to come up, I've got water, sweat just pouring off my nose, dripping. So we had to give up because it's just too hot. So the climate is a challenge if you're not used to it. I really do like the warm weather, but even this kind of heat, it gets to you, and you kind of get really tired during the day. So what we end up doing is sort of like flaking out on the bed every sort of like a few hours. But mind you, because I've got nothing else to do, I'm not working or nothing. We're only sort of like sightseeing and stuff like that. We get plenty of breaks for rest because it does make you tired. I am sitting here just tucking into some, but well, the thing is, a lot of people here, they just buy trays of it and they all eat it like it was chocolate bars, I guess.
Snack.
Yeah, snacks. I won't ever be getting to that point. I don't think so. It really isn't me. But hello, Mark. Hope you're well and enjoying your holiday. Yes, it's great. It's completely different world out here. It was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. The days are all starting to blur into one now because I've lost track of time. But we were driving around Buchanan, where it's the area we're in. It's quite a big area.
Province.
Yeah, it's a province, and it just come into my mind. I'm looking at the scenery, and I'm looking at the tin shacks, I could guess you could say. Lots of these like crudely made little huts with tin roofs and all that where people were living. And then a lot of these tin shacks they're all selling, like they call sari stores, where they sell crisps and drinks and stuff like that. And you've got the palm trees and all the tropical plants that you would see. And I thought to myself, do you know what this reminds me of? If anybody's ever played that game, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, there's a particular area called Haiti. And I actually did feel like I was in that game, like that was the scene I was in. It's just surreal. It really is. And I walk around here, and like the housing for a lot of, I mean, because I don't know about the city. I've not been into like a big city. I know they have proper decent houses here. There are some houses here that are like, wow, that is really something really nice. But a lot of the people here, they live in very poor accommodation, you could say, for the least. And I think a lot of them, it's either the land is either owned by one person, and these people live on that land, or the people who live in these little houses, they own the land and they've built this little house themselves. You could, I guess, I'll call it a house, but a lot of it is sort of like shoddily built buildings, breeze blocks, stuff like that. With the roof, the roofing is terrible. It's just like that metal corrugated tin they use for roofs. This house here has got the proper roof on it, which helps to keep cool. You really don't want a metal roof on your house out in this heat. But yeah, the people out here, they live really poorly. They don't have much, a lot of them don't have much money. But when you see them, they come out dressed like better than I would dress. You know, really smart clothes, look good, and they get on their motorbikes and they go into town. And a lot of them do a job. They'll go. It's like this shop I went into, this little electrical store. It's only a small store. There must have been 10 staff in that shop, and they were all busy. They were all cleaning the floor, doing this, that, and the other. And I thought, there's a lot of people working in here. And even when I say the supermarkets, there's a lot of employment here. They probably don't get paid much. I shouldn't think they do, but there are a lot of jobs here for the local people. So over in England, where they probably try and cut the staff down, over here there's plenty of jobs for people to actually get in all these different places. So there's a lot of manpower here, which is good. Anyway, where am I? Oh yes, Easter, isn't it? I was going to do this yesterday, but I thought actually best not do it because it was Good Friday, and I thought I don't want to put a live stream on Good Friday. Do you know what? How certain things are different here? Just little things I've noticed. If you've got a motorbike or a car and you want to get some fuel, there are lots of like petrol stations around. Over in England, when you go to a petrol station, a lot of them, there's loads of people. Like if you went to Tesco's supermarket petrol station, there's loads of cars normally all pulling in and loads of pumps. Most of the stations out here that I've seen, they have 2 to 4 pumps, and you don't get out your car. You don't have to get out your car. You just pull into the pump, and they have an attendant there that will fill your car up for you. They're all like it over here. They are here. I don't know about in the cities, but out here, they're all got pump attendants. So you haven't even got to bother getting out your car. You can just hand them the money out the window. So, 8 p.m. UK. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so I have timed it right. It's a 7-hour time difference. So I was a bit worried. I knew it should be right anyway, because the clock on this computer is set to automatic time zone. So 3 a.m. here is 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Saturday night in England, and 3 a.m. Sunday morning over here. Thank you, Steve. Hello, Sam. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Not bad at all. Got up early for this, but the reason another reason I got up early is that I'm going out shortly. We're going out in the dark. We've got a half an hour drive down the road, and we're going to watch the sunrise. It's just something to do. You might as well do it on a Sunday morning. Sends them up anyway. Hello, Mondo. How's it going? Only can do an hour as Big Clive. Yes, that's no problem. I'm going to be calling it a day in less than an hour anyway, because I've got to go out. So I thought I'd pull this quick live stream anyway. So anyway, hi Mondo, it's nice to see you anyway. Barrett, hello. How are you doing? Sean, hello Sean. Some beautiful looking ladies over there. Well, yeah, I guess there are everywhere you go. The thing is, everything over here is beautiful. If the first few days of coming over here, I'm just like in awe of everything. I'm driving down. Well, Kenna's driving me because I daren't drive it. I have drove her car now, but I mean, bloody hell, I daren't drive. They drive on the right hand side of the road, so they have left hand drive vehicles over here, and I was literally scared to drive. Not the fact that I could probably get my head around driving on the other side of the road to what we do in England, but it's just the traffic and the roads. Oh, there are some really good roads, but a lot of the roads, they're not marked very well, and it's hard to determine what lane's what. And you've got bikes and SUVs and buses and lorries, and it's I don't. And when they come to, it's okay if you're going down a straight road, but if you get to like a junction, like for instance, there's a main road coming down. You can get to the bottom of this main road, which will carry on, but there's a four-way junction in the middle of the main road, and there's just everyone slows down at this junction, and then there's just them tuk-tuks and sidecars and motorbikes, and they're all filtering in from different angles to all cross the road at the same time. Everyone goes really slowly at these junctions, and everyone's like nudging and nudging, and then they just go there, and it seems to fit into place. But I don't want to be driving a car and get into a situation where, as Kenna says here, the rule of the road is don't panic. Just go slow and don't panic, and everything will be all right. But I did have a drive of a car the other day. I only went in a straight line for about 3 miles, and then I turned right, which was the easier thing to do. When you turn right, you just turn right. When you turn left, you have to cross the other lane of traffic, which is a bit more challenging because you've got to make sure you're looking in your mirrors but what's coming up behind you. I've noticed in the slow lane here, even if you're in the fast lane, the cars and motorbikes in the slow lane are still be zipping past you. So you just got to keep your eyes definitely what's coming up behind you. Barrett, good evening to you. Hello over there in England. I think you're in England anyway. Steve, no pizza in the oven behind you, or JD. Do you know, we looked for JD. We bloody looked for it. Even when in Singapore, when we're just browsing around the shops there, because I had like a little stopover there, we looked around for JD. Not that I could have bought it anyway, because they wouldn't allow it on the plane. They didn't have none. Over here, we've been in the supermarkets and that and just looked around, and there is no Jack Daniels. Nothing. There's other types of whiskey here, but I'm not buying it because there's some types of whiskey that I just don't like the taste of. It's just, to me, it's
White Castle.
Horrible. White Castle's one of them. Thanks for reminding me. I'm going to have a drink. I'll tell you what we have got.
Johnny Walker.
Are you having a drink?
No. San Miguel. You want San Miguel?
Where have they gone? Oh,
and then the red rose.
Oh, right.
And then this other one. Thunder Ice. It's a vodka.
Right. I'll tell you what we have got. We bought this, even though someone's already been at it. It wasn't me, Kenna. Do you want to come and say hi? This is called Red Horse. This is like a really strong beer. So this is one of the beers you have to drink. So I'm going to have a taste of it now. Maybe this isn't the best. It's because the can's already been opened, I'm probably not getting the proper flavour of it. Nah. I don't. It kind of reminds me of Stella Artois. I don't get on with that beer. I had some cans of that Stella. That they were the larger cans, and I could only drink half a can, and that'd be it. I've had enough. This is like one of the main beers they sell out here, San Miguel Light. So I shall try this one. At least we've got a bottle opener. There are a lot of things out here that is a challenge, really challenging. It's not easy to try and get things done, as I've noticed, and I've only been here like a week. Oh, that's better. That is definitely nicer than the Red Horse. But the Red Horse is a beer that you need to try. It's one of the main beers out here if you want to get drunk quick. Yeah. Let me talk about money. You've come over to the Philippines and you want to get some money out of the bank. Number one, depending on where you are, like where I am in Mindanao, there are no Barclays banks or NatWest. All that. There are banks that I've never heard the name of. The one I have heard of is Metro Bank. And that was the first bank we stopped at, because when I came out here, I never had any money in my pocket. Zero. I thought to myself, I don't need any money because Kenna can show me where to go to get some money. So we went to Metro Bank, and lo and behold, I put my card in a machine and it comes up on the screen. There's no money in the cash machine. Funds unavailable. Please try later. So that's no flipping good. We then went to about another 2 different banks and they don't take Visa. No Visa. If you've got MasterCard, that's fine, but they don't take Visa. So that was no good. And then we finally found a... Hang on a minute.
Video.
There's a bug I want to get rid of. These are great for sweeping the floor. We've got these like big white tiles that are on the floor. They're really shiny. I think it's a thing over here. And if you want to clean up, rather than getting a Hoover out, you can just use these to sweep all the dust out. But yeah, finding a bank that you can actually get some money out of can be a challenge, as it was for me. But we finally found 2 banks now that we've got money out of. And I've been back, the bank I was getting money out of, I went to yesterday, and all of a sudden it said funds unavailable from this bank. So I had to give that up. Then we went back to the Metro Bank and it had some money in it this time. And the funny thing is that the cash machine at the Metro Bank, above the cash machine, it said someone had wrote on a piece of card or whatever it was, online. So I guess the cash machines are either online or they're offline. So it's a gamble whether you're actually going to get money out of them or not. It's just so many things. Like I said in one of my videos, if you want to go and buy something, it's not going to be a case of just walking into the shop, picking it up and taking it to the till half the time. It's going to take time to get things. I mean, not just like a supermarket. You can just go and buy something and you'd be done. But if you wanted to buy something, like we bought an electric fan, it was a challenge. It took about 45 minutes to get out the shop after they'd done all their checks and everything on it. And I'm thinking, well, in England, if you buy an electric fan, it's in the box. They just give you the box, you pay for it, you take it out of the shop. Over here, they'll take it all apart and check it all out first and make sure it's all working. Whereas I'm thinking, why bother? If it's something not right, you take it back to the shop with a receipt and they'll exchange it. But they just don't do that way over here. So, hello. When you coming back to the sunny UK? I heard it's sunny over there actually, but it's cold still. No, I'm coming back on the 23rd of April this month. So yes, you can only stay over here for a month, then you've got to leave. I think in the past, what people used to do, if they wanted to stay here, they'd get an airline ticket over here, then they would buy a separate airline ticket, say a ticket from the Philippines to Singapore, but they wouldn't use it. They would take that airline ticket and they'd show it to the immigration as they come off the plane in wherever they are in the Philippines. They'd show it to the officials so they could see that you had a ticket that you were going to leave the Philippines after 30 days. But you would fling that ticket away and then you would stay in the Philippines. And then from there, you'd be able to extend your time at a later date. But they don't do that no more, as far as I'm aware. As far as I know now, if you come over here, you've got 30 days stay here maximum, then you have to leave regardless. And if you don't leave, then you're in trouble. You're breaking their laws. So I would only be able to stay here at 30 days at the most. So it's all since COVID they brought all this out. They're a bit really tight on immigration here. And by the way, you do see soldiers in the streets with their great big bloody machine guns. I forget what type of guns they have, but you'll see like they'll walk down the street with their guns. And the other day, like when we went to this mountain we went up the top of, there's a guy standing at the gate with a shotgun. It's just quite normal here. Neville, hello. Very nice content from the Philippines. I wish I could make more, but I'm not. Do you know, I don't even carry the camera with me that much lately. I'm just sort of like, a lot of it I'm using my phone because it's a lot of aggravation. Unless I've got something specific I'm going out to do, I don't bother taking my camera. I just pick my phone up. It's a lot easier. And plus, where I am, there's not any white people that I've really seen. So here's an example. We went into the supermarket and my son Tyler, he went with Ken's daughter and they went to get a smoothie. There's got these stalls where they sell these milkshakes and stuff. He went to get a smoothie and the woman selling the smoothies wanted to take her photo with Tyler, like a selfie. So they took their pictures together for the simple fact she hadn't seen a Westerner. It's like you just, and I'm walking around like the town here in Marameg, and there's no, it's not like England. There isn't people of all. There are people of different nationalities, but a lot of them you probably wouldn't know because quite a few of them that I think there might be a few Turkish people here, maybe a few Indians and that. Yeah, there are a few Chinese, that's for sure. I've only seen a few Chinese, but most of the people I see here are locals, and I just don't see any foreigners. No doubt there are, of course there are, but I haven't seen any. So it's like I feel a bit like an alien down here. Although saying that, some people will stand and stare at you, but the most part, when you interact with the people around here, everyone that I've come across, they're all well spoken, and they all speak Visayan. It's the dialect here. It's called Visayan, but nearly all of them are fluent in English as well. So it's the communication here. It really isn't a problem. I think you'd really have to go out into some really rural parts to find someone who doesn't speak English, and I think even the furthest out in the outback here, most of them sort of like have a bit of an understanding of English. So, and also all the writing and the signs on the shops and everything like that, it's all in English. So it's easy to understand. The road signs as well, they're in English. So it's not that difficult to understand what's what. It's a good thing because it's an English-speaking country. English is their second language here. There are a ton of different dialects that get spoken in this country. So Tagalog is the main Filipino language, but it's just one of probably hundreds of different dialects, depending on where you are. Barrett, hello. Mudge, wink, nudge, wink, wink. Hello. Could you live over there, Alan? Seen any job opportunities? I probably could. It would certainly take getting used to, but it's like everything. You sort of like eventually get into a rhythm of it all. The heat is probably your biggest challenge, because even now at what time is it? 3:35 a.m. It's like it's muggy, to say the least. You really sort of like, if you've got a fan on you, one of them oscillating fans, it makes life a lot easier. And you know, it is so nice to have a cold glass of Coca-Cola or something with ice in it. It's just the temperature all year round. I mean, this is we are, I think it's April to June, possibly. It's I'm not 100% sure here, but the month of April is the height of summer. It is the hottest it gets over here. The rest of the year, if you get round to like December time, something like that, it's going to be in the 20s, 24, something like that during the day. At the moment, we're sitting around about 33, 34 degrees, although if there's no breeze, it feels a damn sight hotter. It feels more like 40 degrees. It's just getting used to that.
I turn on the aircon for you.
Oh, we've got the aircon on now. Wando, Philippines calling UK. How different is Tyler missing Iceland pizzas? But do you know what? He's like really happy now. He's not got on with the food either, but we've sort of like we've been out and we've shopped for things that we can eat, sort of, so to speak. Because there's a little motorbike here. He's being able to drive this motorbike, and how can I put this? Over here, as far as I can work out, in this particular town, if you're a 12-year-old kid and you've got a motorcycle or a scooter or something like that, you don't even need a license. You can just get on that bike, and in this particular town of Marameg and the surrounding area, children can jump on motorcycles, 3 or 4 up, and they can drive around to their heart's content, and that's allowed. You don't need crash helmets, you don't need protective clothing or anything like that. There's whole families riding around in motorcycles with their babies on the motorcycle as well. I've seen it, loads of them, and everyone's doing it. It's perfectly acceptable. So we've given Tyler sort of like free rein we've given a bit of tuition, and he's done a few rides about, and we've tried to sort of like give him as good guidance as possible. We've actually given him backies down the road, and we had a friend here with another scooter, so he's followed them, and he's been, so he sort of like understands how to turn left and turn right and all that, and he's been riding around in his motorcycle, and he's like he's in his element. It still worries me though, because I don't want him to be in an accident, so we're just like keeping it into the slow lane and keeping a slow pace. But because he's been able to drive this motorcycle, he's really, really happy. And he's like, to him, this is great. This is absolutely fantastic. But when the pizza's over here, we just get a pizza from the shop. We don't have to buy a frozen one from Iceland now. You can just get a pineapple pizza, and you buy it cooked, and it's dirt cheap. So the only thing is that they don't deliver out here, so we got to go and pick it up. But it's not a problem. Hello, Mark. Out working at the old Mondeo tax. Oh, working. I've not seen work for a little while. Well, I have done a bit of work, by the way. I helped to make a fence That was about as much work as what I've done since I've been out here. Anyway, have a good evening. Barrett, how many times have you said hi? Hello. Where are you? What car is that you've got on your thumbnail? I can't tell. My John 64. Hello. Looks like you're having fun. Looking forward to seeing you at the beach. We're hoping to catch an all-night ferry over to one of the islands. I won't say which one it is in a minute, but it involves an all-night ferry, and then there's some beaches there. So we're going to sort of like hopefully do that in the next so many days. But there are no beaches where I am. We're quite inland, so it's like a 2-hour drive at least to actually get to the coast. So, but I'm not. I want to see a beach while I'm here. That's one of the things to do. But I don't want to. I'm not sort of like missing it. It's everything else that's around me is so interesting. Just standing around or driving in a car. In England, it'd be like if you're going down the motorway, it's just like there's just nothing to see. Maybe I'm so used to it, but here there's so much going on by the side of the road, and even the vehicles that are passing you. The lorries out here, the lorries fascinate me because they're just like, I don't even know how to put it. A lot of them they look in such bad condition. They're just, I look at them and I think, wow. And a lot, you notice the windscreens, a lot of them are blacked out the windscreen, so you've only got like a thin gap, so they're stopping the sun from coming in. It's, I don't think the vehicles out here have any kind of real checks. I think that the only MOT that the vehicles get out here is probably someone will walk around. If it's a car, they'll just walk around it, check the lights and tyres. I think that's probably about it. I don't think they even get put on, like in England, you have to get jacked up and check all the wheels and all that. I don't think that happens out here. They just have a quick look at. So it's just so different. Are you planning on getting a work visa and leaving UK to save energy bills? You don't need any kind of heating out here. You just don't need it. This house here, there's no gas boiler, there's no central heating, there's nothing in the way of heating. You just don't need it. You've got electric. I'll tell you how this particular house works. You've got mains electricity coming into the house on a meter. So although the electric I don't think is expensive, that's all you've really got is electric. The cooker is a gas cooker, but you get a propane bottle, which apparently lasts for months. So one gas bottle will last you a long time. I think that's it. So there's no water bill here. The water that comes into this house is from a well. There's a pump outside. When you put the pump on, it should work automatically, this pump, but that feature's broke down, so you have to put a switch on to actually make the pump work. So if you want to take a shower, you get the pump running, and it will pump the water from the well and into the house, and you can then take a shower and everything like that. So there's no water bill. In this particular case, there's no nothing. That's it. Your only bill here is electric and internet. We've got an internet connection, a proper internet connection. So internet and electric bill. That's it. 2 bills. Yellow School of Motoring. Yes, I have. I've tried the balut. It was all right. It wasn't as bad as I thought. In China, I saw a bicycle with 12 water cooler bottles on it. Yeah. This is, I mentioned the other day about motorcycles out here. They call them Skylabs, when they've got a wooden or metal frame they put around the bike, and then they can fit sacks of rice on the sides of the bike and all that. But they have some of these bikes modified so they can carry people. And you can carry, I don't know. I saw one coming up the road, and I was just pissing myself laughing, because there was about 7 or 8 people on one motorcycle sitting on these boards. How they balanced it, I have no idea, but it come past me, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was so funny. But Bernadette Kovacs, hello. Happy Easter to you. Just replaced the thermostat on my Mark V Mondeo. Followed your video, was very useful. Hope you enjoy your holiday. Take care from Manchester. Oh, you replaced that whole thermostat housing. At work, we sort of like do them on a daily basis. They're not cheap either. I don't understand what a bad design they are. They're forever leaking. Yeah, if I go back to a Mark IV Mondeo, they never leak for some reason. They seem to last for such a long time. Yet the rim thermostats they put on these Mark Vs, the glued joints where the water goes through, they just sort of like tend to, it's either the seal where they bolt onto the head or the glued joints. Like I had so many of them where the top radiator hose connection just breaks off the thermostat. Yeah, terrible things and expensive. Well, glad you got yours done. At least that's one coolant leak issue out of the way. I'm doing great, Barrett. Hello, Matty. How are you? How's things? Fair play for trying the balloons. Well, you've got to, haven't you? If I come over here, I never tried it. I don't think I'd live it down. You've just got to do these things, and I think when you actually do stuff like this, you try things. After you've actually done it and you've overcome it, it's sort of like you're glad you did it. And at least you can say, well, what was that we tried the other day? The Japanese food.
Shomai.
Shomai. It's like little cubes of stuff. It's Japanese food. We went to Malai, a place called Malai Balai, little city, and they've got like a street. I don't know what they call it. Festival. It's a street festival which goes on for a month, and there's hundreds of little stalls all over the place. People selling stuff, and all kinds of restaurants and little makeshift, cafeterias. And we stopped at this little cafe, and I got what's an iced tea. It was the nicest drink I've had in a long time. It was like a freezing cold tea, sort of, how can you put it? And it had all like jelly in it, that when you suck it through the straw, all these little jelly balls come up the straw as well. And it was so tasty. But we had this shomai, Japanese little delicacy, I guess you could call it. I tried it, and it's like, it wasn't bad, but it's not kind of like to my tasting, but it was something else to try. Even though it wasn't Filipino food, it was just, when you go places like this, it's nice to try different foods and see what they're like. So that's what it's all about, really. You either like them or you don't. I was planning another trip to China in November, and we'll be packing sausages, bacon, and I should think. I've never been to China myself, but I guess you know. But I don't know what the food is like over there, and whether it's a challenge to actually find something that is going to agree with your stomach.
They made bat soup.
Bat soup. Yeah, try the bat soup. It's a very good dish in Wuhan, apparently. Hello, Mark. Have you seen any interesting cars? Uh, there's a lot of SUVs out here, and some of the people have done them up pretty nice, like monster truck style, big wheels and all that. You know, the snorkels. So yeah, there's more motorbikes than there are cars, I reckon. But there are, in actual fact, we don't even see that many cars. I'd say there's more. Would you say there's more SUVs than cars?
SUVs and pickups.
Yeah, there's a lot of pickups and stuff.
Different
Toyota
emissions.
Hiluxes, big SUVs.
Raptors, Rangers.
Yeah.
Nissan Navara.
The ones we like are the Ford Raptors. They don't, for some reason, they don't really like to sell them in England. I think it's for tax reasons. But over here, there's loads of them. They look a big pickup. They look nice. But yeah, I've not seen that many cars. But a lot of the cars I have seen, I don't even recognise the names of them. But they're all kind of like the Asian versions, I guess, from Japan and that. And as someone mentioned the other day about Bedford Rascal, over here they're not Bedford Rascals. There's loads and loads of these little Suzuki. I think they're Suzuki Carries or little Suzuki vans that look like a Bedford Rascal, and I think they're all shipped over here and then sold off. There's a field.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's such a small little van, but I mean, there's a lot of them over here, and they're all modified into God knows what. Everything over here seems to be some kind of modification. They just keep things running, and it's like the motorbikes, and they build frames onto the motorbikes they make stalls. Like if you're selling burgers and stuff like that, they'll build the frame to house their burger bar on the side of the motorbike. I've even seen what would be the equivalent of a scrap man built onto a motorbike. And it's just like a funny sight to see this motorbike going up the road, and it's got all this stuff on it which looks like a flipping dust cart. It's just unbelievable. You're never short for entertainment. You've only got to stand by in any street and just observe what goes by you, and you wouldn't be able to blink because there's just so much happening all the time. It's so funny. Has Tyler ever eaten balut? Save you loads of money making them at home. No, he hasn't tried it. I don't think he will. I did ask him, but he hasn't said nothing. I don't think Tyler's going to be interested in eating that. Maybe one day when he gets a bit older. Dan, I love Benidorm. I've never been to Benidorm. No, maybe I'll try it one day. You never know. There we go. I think you go there for the sand, the sea, and the weather. This is why I love local food when I go away. Well, I think it's like if you try all these different foods, especially in a country like this, you've got a very high chance of getting an upset stomach very quickly. That's why me too. I was having a right challenge trying to deal with the food. There's a lot of pork and beef dishes out here, and it's like, can't I just have something I know what I'm eating? I don't know what's in half of these foods. I'd have to be here for a long time to slowly work my way around and get the hang of it all. But I'm used to British food, and I want to try all these other things. It's just that some of them I look at and I just don't like the look of it. So without trying it, obviously. So yeah, I too like something that I can just eggs and bacon, you know, baked beans and stuff like that. I know where I am with that type of food. Yellow School of Motoring, hello. Not a lot of Mondeos in the Philippines. No, there are some. There obviously are some somewhere. I've yet to see one. So Mondeos are certainly elusive where I am. Matt, love the video. Was the balut that bad? No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad at all. It was okay. If I just had a hard-boiled egg, I could eat that no problem, and it would have been eating it couple munches and it'd been down. The balut is it's chewy. It's kind of chewy. You got to chew a bit to break it up, and then. But it wasn't a bad taste or nothing. It was kind of a blandish taste. There wasn't much taste to it, but it was okay. Like I've stated, it's knowing what it is that puts you off. That's the problem. If it was dressed up in something else and you said it was something else, if you just said it was a piece of chicken, you just eat it, wouldn't you? But no, it wasn't bad. Morpheus. Never seen a Mondeo there. They have Raptors. Yes, lots of Raptors. BMWs, Mercedes, mostly Toyota and Honda, but Asian. That's it. A lot of the car models have they're Asian versions, and they have names that I've never even heard of before. Lots of. I've not seen a BMW yet, or I don't. I've seen a few Mercedes lorries. Yeah, lots of Toyotas, Hondas. Yeah. The Fiesta you saw was most likely a Mazda. Yeah, I know that Mazda were in line with Ford. I forget what model it is now, but a Mazda. There's a certain Mazda models which are basically a Ford Fiesta, just a different body shell, but the actual mechanical side of it is all exactly the same, engine and all that. But I don't recognise half these cars. All the names, they're all totally foreign to me. You'd literally have to study the Asian car market to see what models they're selling. This Ken's car is a Subaru Forester. It's 2018 and it's got a flat 4 engine in it. Automatic transmission. It's a lovely car. It just zips along, all-wheel drive, and by the way, flipping heck, you really need the all-wheel drive out here. This where I am now, there's like a mud dirt track that comes down to this house, and during the day when it's really hot, it's dry. It's a bit bumpy, but it's dry. But normally in the afternoon, late afternoon or evening, you'll get a thunderstorm, thunder and lightning, and you can have this torrential rain come down, and that mud track just becomes a swamp, and you have to drive down that track. And the whole car, even though it's all-wheel drive, we're in the car, and the whole car's like going sliding from side to side. it's pretty unnerving. And if you didn't have a 4-wheel drive, you might not get down that track. So I think this is why a lot of people have SUVs out here, and then pickups and that. I think you bloody well need it. And I've noticed when you get off the main road to get to a lot of residential addresses, there isn't really any roads there. Once you're off the main road, you are literally driving down dirt tracks or very, very badly maintained roads, narrow roads. But most of the tracks we've been down are sort of like there's no road there at all, and it's bumpy and it's very
because it's private land.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. You've got so many residences that if you wanted to get to,
you have to make it concrete yourself, not the government.
Yeah, the government don't build roads down to these houses. So to get to them, you need an off-road vehicle, or you're not going to have. If you had a car, you probably wouldn't have much suspension left after a few years, because they really are terrible. It's hard to get around once you're off the beaten track, so to speak. Have you seen some interesting repairs, hacks, and workshop videos? No, I've not been. I've not been watching anything over here on YouTube or anything. But I just all I've been doing is just witnessing things as I go past, and you see like lorries, cars, vehicles by the side of the road. They do the repairs wherever they break down. So no, I've not seen any interesting repairs. Oh, one thing I did see, which was interesting, this T-shirt I'm wearing. They actually put the signage on this while I waited for it. And so that the love heart here, they just use it like a stencil. And they've got this like red dye they put on. And then they got this board, they just go over with it like that. And then they hairdryer it to dry it. They do that a couple of times till it gets like that. But that was interesting watching this T-shirt being made. But no, I would have to be out here for some time to actually start seeing how they do things. But I should think it's quite a bit different to what we see over in England. Even the repairs of cars and that, I should think, are a whole lot different. There can't be any shortage of work out here for motorcycle repairs, and there's a lot of dealers around selling bikes. So I should think there's a lot of motorbike mechanics out here. Same body. Yep. That's the Suzuki and Bedford Rascal, isn't it? Yeah. Phantom, hello. Is Kenna planning to visit the UK?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Never.
I don't think she'd need to come to the UK.
I don't like your place.
I said to her, look, there's no point in you coming to the UK. You'd probably go out of your mind with boredom. I'm bored as hell in the UK. You get up and there's just nothing. It's just boring. It's even when not, you know what I'll do at a weekend if I've got nothing to do. I will get up and I'll go for a walk down to the river and along and up through the town and that, and then back home. But there's just nothing going on. But it's just like, maybe it's because it's all new over here. But whenever I go out here, there's just so much going on. It's like interesting. I haven't even got to walk far, and I've only got to look at other people, and it's just the sights you see out here on an everyday basis. It's like interesting, and you know, everyone that walks past you, if you say hello, it's like they're all happy. They're all like, hello back, and how are you, and good morning. But in England, I don't tend to walk past people and say hello for some reason. I just don't do it. You just ignore people. You just walk past them. Get over here, you just feel like saying hello is a thing, and they're all happy to say hello back to you. JW, hope you're enjoying yourself. What side of the road do they drive on over there? It looks a bit of a free-for-all. Have you lost some weight? They drive on the right-hand side of the road, so all their vehicles are left-hand drive. Yeah, it's just, I think for me, it's a bit of a challenge if I have to drive on the right-hand side of the road, because I'm so used to driving the left-hand side of the road. It's when you're making a left turn, and obviously a right turn as well, you don't want to mess that up or you could be in trouble. Yeah, a lot of the roads, they are a bit of a, especially when you come to a junction, and a busy junction, there's no markings, there's no traffic lights, there's no nothing. And you've got traffic coming from all four sides, and they're all trying to filter in to go different directions. And one of the roads that the junction's on is a main road. But as I've noticed, despite the vehicles coming from all different directions, they all tend to go really slow when they get to the junction, and even the cars on the main road, they kind of crawl along. So, and they all kind of nudge their way in, and then filter out to where they're going. And everyone seems to just sort of like accept the situation of this junction, and every time it just seems to work. It's like you don't need the traffic lights, you don't need all the fancy lines and everything like that. They all just work it out. They all seem to know how to navigate these these roads so well, and the junctions and everything. So I don't know. It's it all seems to work perfectly well. And you know, in England, you have lots of cars, and you have traffic lights, and everything seems to be so organised. But you know, as with traffic lights, you can get quite big tailbacks in a lot of cases if they're not set quite right. When I was coming here, I was on the way to Heathrow Airport. There was a roundabout, and it was controlled by a number of sets of traffic lights, and it took us over 45 minutes, I'd say, to get over this roundabout. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, if there was no traffic lights at this roundabout, I reckon things would have moved on a lot quicker, because everybody would have just filtered through. So I don't think traffic lights are the be end and end all sort of thing. There are traffic lights over here in certain places, but most that I've seen, there's no kind of even signage. There's just a junction. It's just get on with it. Binono T Superhero, hello. I'm totally jealous, dude. Hope the Philippines is good. Yeah, I think if you ever get the opportunity to pick somewhere that you want to go, you need to do it. Just got to do it. The trouble is, if you don't do these things, you don't want to wait till it's too late. So you just need to sort of like, I mean, the trouble is, because of the pandemic, it's put a lot of people back so many years now. It's like it's messed a lot of people's lives up. What you could have done years ago, 3 years ago, now you're starting to be able to sort of like do these things. So if you can get out and go to somewhere you want to go, you really ought to sort of like make it happen if you can. You only live once, so you've got to. Doesn't matter how much money you've got in this world, it doesn't make up for living life, and that's what it's all about. Going places, seeing things, and living. Because back in England, like, you know, you kind of feel like you're not living, you're just working to survive, and that's what it feels like. I do like durian fruit and those wafers, but the stink of trying to store them in the house, so they go in the shed. Yeah, I know that durian smells. It's got a potent smell to it. So when I have my durian, I have smelt it now, and from what I've been led to believe, it's not, well, it's quite a smell, but it's not that bad a smell. I did smell it the other day, but I'm gonna make a quick video of eating that durian, and I'll kind of try and explain what the smell smells of. So yeah, that one's coming. Joe, hello to you, Joe. How's it going? What is the time, by the way?
4.
Oh, it's just gone 4 o'clock. How long we got?
1 hour.
Yeah, we've got about an hour, then we've got to go. So, well, actually, yeah, we're going to be off shortly in the pitch darkness. Matty, it's the humidity I don't like. 50 degrees isn't too bad in the desert where it's dry. No, yeah, the humidity, the air can be like heavy and hard to breathe. It can be so hot. And you just feel like Oh. Phantom. Hello, Vic. How are you? From Chesterfield. How's it going? Did you take any Easter eggs with you? No, they would have bloody well melted by now. You know, I haven't even thought about Easter since I've been here. I know it's Easter weekend now. And there's a thing. I've not seen any Easter eggs.
Because we don't make it. I'm not Catholic, right? We don't do that.
Yeah, no, if you've in England when they've got Easter eggs stacked on every bloody shelf, there's no Easter eggs over here. There's not even anything to do with Easter that I've seen. Nothing. I know they celebrate Easter. It's like the mountain we went up. They've got the little, I don't know what they are, little pictures of Jesus and something, some sermon or something, like telling a story. As you go up the mountain, they will say a prayer. But as far as the Easter bunny and all that goes, there's nothing at all. So in England, where you go into Tesco's, you'll have an aisle dedicated to chocolate Easter eggs. You just don't see that here. Vardags, hello. 9:20 here in Sweden. We look at you too. All right. Sweden. Even though, mate, I hope you're loving the well-deserved break. Yep, it's absolutely great over here. It's just a whole new world. I keep saying this, but it's stepping back in time. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm in like the 1970s or the 1980s. And it kind of shows when you go into shops and that they don't have the technology that's over in England, and I like it better here. I like the old way of doing things. I like it where you go to a supermarket till, and it's all. Do you know what? Some of these tills may as well be them kind of tills where they have the big buttons they press like a typewriter. There's none of this swipe your Wi-Fi, swipe your debit card, and all that. There's none of that crap here. It's most of it's you paying cash. It's all money, cash money. They do cards, but I don't think I'd even bother with a card over here. You just have a cash on you. It's a lot easier. Well, I suppose it's easy. I mean, I suppose that all the cards in England, they're all for convenience, aren't they? But it's kind of like your money is fast becoming credits rather than money anymore. I don't agree with this push towards a cashless society. I like to know that you have cash. It just feels like it's something. Whereas if you just got a card in your pocket, it's just I don't know. I'm not digging it at all. The government can see everything you've transacted, and I'm not liking that. You really miss all those Mondaos now. Is there anywhere you are? No, there's zero Mondaos I've seen. Absolutely zero. So if I do come across one, I'll let you know. How is Tyler getting on with Nicole? Well, Nicole's Ken's daughter, so she's latched onto him, and they sort of like zip around on the motorbike together.
Pamela.
Oh yeah, there's another girl here, Pamela, who's with Tyler. So he's got a few friends here now, so he's quite happy every day. He's got some people to talk to on his level and his kind of age. So
all the kids over here are my daughters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adrian, you will eventually get used to it, mate. Yes, I know. Yeah, it takes a while, and it's definitely not an overnight thing. You can spend a couple of weeks here and still not even scratch the surface. You obviously sort of like kind of get a little bit used to the humidity and the temperature, but I mean, to actually get a good idea of this country, you'd have to spend, I don't know, you'd have to be here for like 3 months at least, I reckon, to sort of like fit in properly or get in any kind of way close to sort of like fitting in. So I found that the small amount of time I've been here, it's brilliant when you first get here. There's everything around you, so much to see and all that. But after a week, you kind of like, it kind of gets to a little bit. The food, the stress, the humidity, it can be a bit much. So you've just got to take it slow and just let things take their course. You can't be an impatient person here. It's just everything is done at a slow pace. So you've just got to learn to accept that you're not going to achieve anything anytime soon. It just doesn't happen. Just simple things become slow. So you've really got to sort of like experience it to understand that if you're just wanting to do like go to the shop to buy an item, it could take you some time doing that. Yeah, like I pointed out, just trying to get some money out of a bank can be a problem.
No cash.
Yeah, no cash in the machine today.
Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, the machine's offline today as well. Rob, driving in Philippines can be described as the weak shall perish.
The weak shall perish.
Yeah. I don't think the roads are that bad. I've seen some vehicles go zipping down the road really fast, but the most part, most vehicles are driving. They're not even going that fast, especially around the towns and that. Once you get into the actual towns, there's so many motorbikes and tuk-tuks and sidecars and all that. No one's really going fast. They're all, because there's like maybe two lanes and a one-way street, and they're all filtering left and right and everything. I've not even seen an accident yet, so
You're hoping.
Yeah, but I've not seen anyone really speeding in the towns. Everything seems to just move and flow sweetly, despite the number of vehicles in one street at any time. It's quite bewildering. I've been driving in Philippines for years now. Yeah, well, you're well used to it then. you know how to do it. So, from what I've seen, it seems okay. I think it's like after, I don't know, maybe a month or two of driving around in the Philippines, you'll be sort of like, it'll be like no problem anymore. Just every day, get on with it. Are you planning on retiring into there or importing Kenna? No, if I lived out here, I'd have to come here. So there's no way she'd come to the UK. No, she's got everything she needs here. It's her own house, business, the lot. So why would she come to the UK?
The only place I wanted to live is in Hong Kong.
Yeah, she likes the Chinese Communist Party for some reason.
No, not just the communist. The place is so nice, and also the laws over there are very, very fair, and also the food.
Kenny used to work in Hong Kong
for 10 years.
He worked in Hong Kong for 10 years. So she likes it out there. So maybe that's one place we might visit later. So, mind you, I'd like to visit Hong Kong. I should think that's one hell of a place to visit. Must be a hell of a lot going on there, a lot to see as well. But yeah, she likes the Hong Kong. Mind you, it was under when you were there. It was still under
UK.
Yeah, under British rule, but it's not now, is it? The Chinese have taken it back, so God only knows.
It's more cheaper than Singapore, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, Singapore is one expensive little country.
Second expensive
Yeah.
in the world.
You know that my Mondeo have all those nice things tech that the Skoda you tested had. Yes. To be honest with you, if it were me buying a car, I'd want something simple. I think as far as cars have gone, they're getting. It's nice to have it's for the UK when you've got freezing cold temperatures. It's nice to have a heated windscreen. It's nice to have heated seats and all that sort of thing. But as cars are getting more, the years are going on, they're trying to pack more and more electronics into all these cars, and it's like it's all going to go wrong eventually. Depends on how long you keep the car for, though. I just like something simple. I'd be happy. I'd be happy still on an old Cortina with nothing in it, with wind up windows. I've got to that stage where I just really don't care about technology anymore. I just want the simple life. Lot better life in the Philippines. It is if you can hack it. Like when you're living in the UK, you've got a certain standard of living. There's things you're used to that you just take for granted. Like for me, at home, I turn the tap on and water comes out of the tap. I mean, something simple like that can not be a simple thing over here. So if the pump on the well breaks, you've got no water coming out the tap. You've got no water filling up your toilet cistern. You can't take a shower. You know? You get a lot of, they call them brownouts over here. The electric goes off. You remember, I don't know if you remember, if you're old enough to remember, in the 1970s and probably 80s, in the UK, you used to get a lot of power cuts. Well, that happens over here, although I don't think it's so frequent now. We've had a couple of power cuts since we've been here, but generally, within a couple of hours, they've fixed the problem and the power's back up again. But it is still a frequent thing. If you've got refrigerators and stuff like that, you're relying on for your business, you can't have the power out for too long, or your goods are going to go off. So you've definitely got to kind of get on with how life is out here and the weather. I'm sure Ellen will live in Philippines eventually. Yeah. I think I'd like to.
No. No.
Number one mechanic in the Philippines. Do you know what? I feel out of my depth out here, because I don't think what I do in the UK even comes close to what's done out here and how they work out here. I think a lot of the repairs that are done out here are probably not so much if you went to the big city and you've got dealers, you've got main dealers. They're probably all very technical, but out here in the provinces, it's like I should think everything they do is improvised. They probably use a lot of crude tools, no doubt, but they get the job done. They work out how to repair this, that, and the other using the basics. Not that I've seen it firsthand, but if I spent some time out here, no doubt I would. Because no doubt we'd have to go to a repair shop at some point and have some kind of vehicle repaired, and you'd get an understanding of what they do and how they work. And there are lots of Fiesta autos with lots of shift issues, lots of work in Philippines on these Fords. Yeah, that's if you know about automatic gearboxes, or I don't know, they've got CVT transmissions over here. But yeah, there are a lot of cars they make that have auto gearboxes that they have problems with. You know, I know that for sure. So BDO. What's BDO?
The one we get the money.
Oh
yesterday.
yeah. And there's another one. BPI.
Yeah.
BDO or yeah, they're banks. Yeah.
Bank of Philippine Island. BPI.
Yeah. They do charge you if you've got a Visa card and you've got like your card is international.
£4, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though when you take money out here from a bank, it's rather than taking out a couple £100, you're taking out 10,000 pesos. It's like the first time I typed in 1,000 pesos, I thought I wanted, and it was like £8 or something. But no, 10,000 pesos was like 150, £160. I think that was the maximum I could take out anyway. So it's just a lot. It seems a lot, but it's not a lot. Probably a big cockroach.
Lisa, is it?
Local banks,
No good.
no good. No, a lot of them aren't. A lot of them don't even take Visa. So you have to forget that one straight away. And the ones that do, you can get money out with a Visa, debit card or something like that. They'll charge you. But it worked out probably £2 or £3 to take £150 out.
Don't charge.
You should be the next star of Idiot Abroad, not an insult, a compliment due to the quality of the non-advertised stuff that you were covering. I think there's probably a lot of YouTubers who come out here and they go into these places and they go around and cover all this sort of stuff. But I mean, I'm not, because I'm not here to sort of like explore and document everything. I'm just sort of like waving the camera around at anything I might find interesting. But where I am is not the kind of place most foreigners go. Mindanao is
middle of.
Yeah, it's like.
And Burkina is middle of Mindanao.
Yeah, it's kind of like they
mountains.
Yeah, mountainous area. It's
agriculture.
Most foreigners would go to places like Cebu City, Dumaguete, Manila, places up north.
Oh.
Mindanao is not a big, although it's a beautiful country, it's not a big tourist destination. I guess because they've had their fair share of trouble out here. We've got a couple hours drive up the road. We've got Marawi City. That's where the ISIS come up, and they had the siege of Marawi, where the Philippine army had to go in, and they had street battles. This was in, I think, 2016 or something like that, possibly. That's why they have army checkpoints. So they still have checkpoints here, but they have army checkpoints all over the place, because there are like groups out here, rebel groups that they kidnappings and stuff like that. So it can be a dangerous place, but there again, the way I see it, you can go to London. London can be a very dangerous place. You've got a high chance of being mugged down there or stabbed or God knows what. So you just want to stay away from kind of places where you could get yourself into trouble. But yeah, from what I've seen so far, it's been great here. I've not seen any problem from anyone. Fantastic coverage. Always take cash in sterling or dollars. Yeah, I didn't see the need to bring any cash with me. In the past, if you'd have gone to a foreign country, before you leave your country, you would probably be thinking, right, I need to go and get a load of cash exchanged into the currency of the country you're going to. So once you get off the plane, you're ready. You've got money in your pocket. Because I was meeting Kenna here, I thought there's no point me bothering because she knows the country, she knows the banks and where to go and everything like that. So I thought I'll just leave it to her.
And you just spend for your drinks, right?
Yeah. So I really don't have to worry too much about money side of things. You just have to talk a little bit Mark 5. You can't live without it. Max 10,000. Yeah, that's just what we found. You can't take out any more than 10,000 pesos. Well, it's US dollar there, but you can't take any more than 10,000.
What he means is if you carry your money through from your place to my country, you have to carry around 50,000 pesos or below 500,000 pesos, something like that. You cannot carry more than that, or else they will hold you.
Yeah.
The customer hold you.
Yeah, there is a
limit of
when we were
carrying cash.
when we were coming here from Singapore to Davao Airport. We were given this card and we had to fill this card out, all our details, and we also had to tick boxes what we're bringing into the country. Are we bringing drugs?
Custom
Are we
check.
bringing guns? Are we bringing, are we bringing excess amount of money into the country? Because they want to know all this, they want to know everything. But obviously we're not. Yeah, if you're bringing more than what they deem appropriate, then they're going to be asking you questions. And like when we got here, they have the immigration booth that you have to talk to this guy, and he looks at your forms and asks you questions. And then you've got the desks behind saying secondary immigration. And I'm thinking, I don't want to end up on one of them desks being questioned. Luckily, we didn't get questioned because everything we had was legit. And and having taken that antigen test before I left was like the best thing ever, because if I had never taken that antigen test and you get a certificate when you upload your picture of your negative antigen test to the website, they send you a certificate to say you haven't got COVID. So you show them that certificate and that gets you out of the shit. Without that certificate, you'd be in a lot of problems. They'll be giving you a test over here. And if you come up positive, well, it's not just that, just having to be here at an airport, having to take a test is going to be time consuming, problematic. They'll probably charge you for it. And if you do come out positive, then you're stuffed because you're going to get stuck in quarantine. Yeah, and you really don't want to enter this country and get shoved into quarantine. And by the way, as you know, them antigen tests, it's like they only want to see a photo of a negative test, you know what I mean? So it's quite easy to get around. Taking a risk carrying large amounts of cash. If you get robbed, game over. Yeah. Luckily for me, I have zero cash in me. I don't even need any money on me. I just let her do it. She has the purse. So you see, you can deal with all the people here. It's like you just open your car window and you just shout at them what you want, and it's like you go.
Because it seems in your country you have trust issues, right? Seems like you don't trust your Philippine countrymen. Is it?
Well, I don't think...
You notice when I give the money to the gasoline boy, I just give one. Okay, I don't even check it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I mean. You know how everything works here.
Yeah.
You know how to speak to the people properly, and they all understand you. I'm just sat here while you're speaking in Versailles, and it's just total mumbo jumbo to me. And they speak so fast. It's like, oh, I can't learn this. It's like I couldn't even.
I am selling him. I said, how much you can pay for this guy?
You should start a tuk-tuk servicing business.
Nah, not good, not good. Not long lasting. No.
There's enough of them
I
here.
don't like it.
What are they called? TVS, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're called TVS.
That is the brand of that.
Yeah.
Mhm. But actually, that is India. I guess Baja is from India.
Mm.
Mm. That is not long lasting.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
No idea.
Mhm.
You can stay legally up to 3 years. Yeah, you probably can, but I'm sure the laws changed where if it's your first time coming over here, since the COVID, they changed the laws so your first visit here can't be any longer than 30 days, then you have to leave. So I'd have to look it all up again, but I know whether they've changed it recently, I don't know. But when I was, if I'm going back a few months, when I was looking at how you come over here, they actually made it so that you can't get a throwaway ticket no more. You've got up to 30 days on your first visit, then that's it. You've got to go. Then on your second visit, then I think you can stay a bit longer. You must renew your visa. Yeah, I think that's one thing you have to do. That will cost you though, but if you want to stay, you've got to get your visa sorted out. If you find yourself without a visa here, you're going to be in trouble if they catch you. You don't want to end up in a Filipino prison, that's for sure.
No, they will just deport you.
Yeah, they'll probably deport you, but if you got into any kind of trouble,
And then you will ban for a few months or a year.
Yeah.
Come back within the.
It's tough over here. They are very strict on immigration.
Yeah.
I never trust cash machines in other countries. Stick to the same bank that your account is with, if possible, so that things work. Yeah, there aren't no banks here. There aren't none that I've seen that even resemble any banks in the UK. So I have to go with, apart from the Metro Bank. And Metro Bank is the closest I've seen. In Peterborough, in England, there's a big Metro Bank, big flash. We walk inside there, it's really flash. So they've got the Metro Bank here. But once again, it's a case of it's not always got money in the cash machine. So you may have to go elsewhere if you actually do need to get money out. Max 3 years. Best regards, Bulgaria. Hello, Milan. Blimey, Bulgaria.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Bulgaria country.
How far behind in the chat is he?
Maybe you are.
Oh, God only knows. But we've got to go out in a
I'm gonna go
4:38 now. We're going to have to sort of like make a move because we've got to get half an hour down the road. So no Mondeos in the Philippines that I've seen. Where are we? 30 or 40 seconds behind on shower. That's not bad.
No, it's not. Maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it says seconds here.
No.
Oh, here's a good one. Do they have a good chippy? No. I think if you go into a cafe, you probably... Can you get chips here?
Yeah, you know.
I've not seen any chips. I think you can get fries and chips here. If
you know what's the reason when you go to a holiday, you should not be expecting this food you are eating at home. That's it. I've been to different part of China and different part of Asia, but I have to try all those food in there. That is, become aware of what's going on around the world. Not just you eat chips in there, you eat chips in here.
I know, but there's a difference between trying different foods and just wanting a decent meal. No, I did. You can get chips. In fact, there's lots of little restaurants
Oh,
that are equivalent to like McDonald's style restaurants you can go
that's
into.
tough.
What's the name of that one we went into the other day?
Jollibee?
Not Jollibee. The
Ah,
one,
that is mang inasal. It's a Filipino dish. It's
yeah,
a grilled chicken
yeah. There's
in a
places you can
barbecue,
go
something
into
like
that
that.
you can get chicken noodles.
Halo halo.
They do little
That's
meals
so
for you,
good.
and they're all quite agreeable to me. They're kind of like the food you're used to, and they're very nice and they're cheap. So,
And you eat more rice now.
oh
Because in Asia, rice is life.
yeah, definitely white
White rice.
rice, which is I thought I'm not going to like white rice. It's boring, but it wasn't. The white rice is actually quite nice. It's quite tasty because I'm quite used to Uncle Ben's rice with the different flavours and all that. But just having the plain white rice, especially when you mix it with other stuff, it's really nice actually. So I'm getting on well with that. I have been John. Hello. I've been working on my V6 Mondeo all day. It starts but then stops later. Can you fly back to UK? Well, I hope you fix it. I hope you get the to the bottom of what's wrong with it. Cars can be a right pain, you know. Well, I know that. Filipinos, best people in the world. Yeah, they're just like really friendly. Really.
One guy posted in social media saying, "Life is so good when you have German car, a US salary, a Chinese food, and a Filipino wife."
No, the people have been absolutely fantastic out here. They're ever so friendly. They really are. Province may not outback. Yeah, the outback is Australia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Province. The thing that gets me is I'm trying to get my head around is how things work here. Where we are now in this house, there's no postman, no postman. So there's no letterbox on your door. You don't get letters put through your door. So this place here is put into a category of what do you call it? This area, there's certain number
like a village, something like that.
Yeah, what do they a barangay?
Barangay.
They call this. You've got what's called barangays. So say where we are here, say there's a certain area and a certain number of houses or people residences. They're all. It's called a barangay, and they have a barangay captain, who probably has a little office somewhere. And any mail would go to the barangay captain. So if you wanted to pick your mail up, you've got to go to the captain's office or wherever to get your mail. And in England, it'd be like a postcode. There'd be a number of houses under a certain postcode. Where here they're called barangays. And it's oh God, I'm just trying to work it out. But it's like a little the barangay is more like it's not just like a postcode, it's more like a little community. So you can have barangay. The barangays are everywhere, all over the place, and they're all split up into little barangays, these little communities. And I'm still trying to work it out, but yeah, it's just not the same. You don't get like the mail is just one example of what you don't get over here. So I don't know whether that applies to the cities, because I've not been into a major city here, because I'm out in the province. It's just a different way of doing things. In China, came down from my hotel room one morning, and a guy is refilling the cash point there. Culture shock. A guy in full body armor with pump action shotguns guarding it. Yeah. Do you know what? I've seen a few armored cars out here as well for the banks. the armoured car will sit right on the bank, right outside the bank, and they're really old vehicles, and it's like flipping heck. It's I don't know. It's just strange. It's fascinating. Everything I see is just fascinating. Marlene, a rooster can be heard merrily crowing somewhere behind. Yeah, you cannot. There are so many roosters, chickens around here, and there's some of these roosters. It's not the noise they're making now. They make this other noise, this really long noise. It's like a dinosaur kind of noise. But they sit right outside the window. I think because you've got the roosters all split up into different areas because otherwise they'll fight each other. So you've got a rooster that's called Max that hangs out around outside the bedroom window, and every morning it really screeches through your window. Mind you, the roosters are going on all day long. At certain times of the day, they keep on. But yeah, that's something you've got to get used to here is roosters. Everywhere you go, there are chickens and roosters running around, and dogs. There's dogs, and the dogs, they don't care. They'll sit in the middle of the highway, and you have to drive around them. it's just strange. I mean, there's about, I don't know, 7 or 8 dogs around here, and they'll all come and sit on the porch. So they're all fine though. They're all friendly dogs. Tagalog is a mix of English, Spanish, and Tagalog. Also a bit of American thrown in. Yeah, I know that. I know there's I think Tagalog was taken over by the Filipino government as the national language, but the amount of dialects out here are mind-boggling, to say the least. No aircon. Yes, we do have aircon. Then we've got a nice aircon LG in here, which is on right now. So it's getting nice and cool in here now. It's a good, without the aircon on, it's about 23, 24 in here at 3, 4 in the morning. And during the day, it's 33, 34. Although if you've got a nice breeze, it's good. But if there's no breeze, like there hasn't been hardly any breeze for the last few days, and the heat, it's like, ooh, it's hot. It's really hot. Big Clive live in 30 minutes. I'll be done shortly. So
you have to run all those commenters. So.
Yeah, I'm a bit behind on the comments to say the least.
See all those.
So I will try and catch up on everything.
Steve.
Baguio in the north is cooler.
Yeah. Baguio is always winter over there.
Winter in the Philippines? You're kidding me?
Yeah, it is. Up to 6 degrees, you know.
6 degrees?
Yeah, it is.
Bloody
Last
hell.
December, I guess.
Well, I ain't going there then.
I thought you don't want cold places.
No, I don't want the cold places. I want the warm places. I like the heat, but on the other side of that, it can be a little bit trying, can't it? During the day, it can be that hot that it's sort of like you can't get nothing achieved. Yeah. You just end up flaking out on the bed and putting the fan on you. Those water cooler bottles were full. And it's 3:36 a.m. in morning now. Yep.
No, it's 4:48 now. You're
no.
behind.
No, it's 4:48.
You are.
Yeah.
1 hour behind.
You know when the clocks go backwards and forwards in the UK, you've either got a 8-hour time difference or a 7-hour time difference. At the moment, it's a 7-hour time difference. So right now.
So I used to wake up 3 in the morning just to talk to you. Okay, that's how patient I am.
that cockerel would be dead on the first night if it made that noise at 3 a.m. while I was sleeping.
I got 5 roosters and they scream so loud. Actually,
I tell you what, that cockerel is nothing compared to. You've only got to sort of like open the door, and you know
they say good morning to you.
the crickets and all the insects, because this is on like there's a load of sugarcane field over there, and
Palm trees.
there's
and
all kind of
crops.
vegetation and grass around. You can hear the insects. The air is like alive with insects. And in here, you've got these little lizards. They're about this long. Loads of little green lizards, and they get in here. They run up the walls and across the ceiling, and they get to like the roof lamps, ceiling lamps, and they eat the bugs and the flies. And I've got to the point now where the first time I saw them, I thought, bloody hell, there's lizards running around in the house.
You haven't seen the gecko, right? Bigger than this.
I did see a lizard the other day outside. It must have been about that big.
No, that's not gecko. Gecko is a little orange.
Yeah. No, I've not seen one of them. But you just get used to all the little lizards running around. They don't bother you. They're totally harmless, and they're only after flies. They don't get into bed with you, sort of thing, and try and bite you. But after a while, you're just oblivious to them. Apart from that bloody spider that was in here, that spider was like flipping. I've never seen a spider so big. I mean, I know unless it's in a zoo or something like that in a cage, but this spider was like. That's going out the flipping door, and I tried to catch this. I don't like to kill spiders. I always get like a bowl or something, and I'll put the bowl over it, then put a bit of paper under it, and then take it outside, and then fling it outside. But as I put the bowl, the spider was on the wall, and as I put the bowl towards the wall to box it in, the spider jumped to another bit of the wall. And every time I put the bowl near to try and catch this spider, it kept jumping and it kept seeing me coming. So we had to zap it with ant killer, and that neutralised it, and I got rid of it. There's no way I'm going to bed in this house with that spider. It's flipping horrible. And I didn't want to ask it whether it was poisonous or not. I didn't want to find out. In the oven too. Alan, is Tyler well supplied with condoms? No, he's not doing any of that.
He was telling me about his girlfriend in UK, but I always advise him. He is too young to enter that kind of,
Yeah, no, he's.
Because I told him, I don't have boyfriend until I am 25 years old.
No, it's I've schooled
You know what?
him on.
If Tyler stay here, I'll be guarding him all the time. No girls allowed. No girls.
No, he doesn't want to make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
So he knows. I've had long conversations with him about this. You've got to, as far as I'm concerned, you've got to be at least in your mid-20s to even consider having children.
Be responsible always.
Yeah, I don't agree with having like pregnancies at sort of like 17 years old. It's just not going to work.
You'll be the one feeding your grandchild.
In the province, no problems riding motorcycles. If in the city, you have no chance of getting away with it. No, from what I've heard, you in the city, you really sort of like want to.
Helmets.
There's more laws that they'll enforce. So, but out here in the province, it's like children riding around on motorcycles is just everyday life, and no one bats an eyelid at it. It's just the way it is out here. Many years ago, I used to go to motorcycle rallies. Typical games were how many could ride a motorcycle at the same time. We only managed 5. Well, here it's like you usually I see about 4 people at least on a bike, and I always look because I always find it so funny. But the vehicles that go past you, the motorbikes are the funniest ones. Where you've got guys on the bike 2, 3 up, and they've got like it's the luggage they're carrying as well. It's so funny. They're so overladen with stuff. It's it just makes me laugh watching it. Graham, how are you there for? Oh, I'm coming back on the 23rd of April, so that's my time up. You know, half the problem I've got is because I've tried to fit this around, because Tyler's still at school. I've tried to fit this around the Easter break, but I've had to take him out of school a few days before they broke up for Easter, and when he gets back, the schools will be back as well. So I'm going to get fined by the school anyway, but I don't care because it's like there's no way I could get around it. I didn't want to come here for like a week or 2 weeks because it's just for what it costs to get here, it's not worth it. So I've tried to make it as long as I could without being too long. Whereas if it wasn't if the school in England wasn't a problem for Tyler, I could have made it longer. But he has to get back to school, obviously. So I've tried to make it sort of like fit in as best I can. But for the £60 fine I'm going to get from the school, I don't care. Stuff them. You know, all the school teachers all striking at the minute anyway. So, you know, it's so hypocrisy to me. They can all strike, and that's perfectly fine, disrupting all the school kids' learning. Yeah, if I take this kid out of school he's probably going to get more learning here in the few weeks he's been here than what he get in school. So at least he's learning a bit about life out here. But it's okay, you know. The schools can find me. I don't care. I will. Thank you, Gary. When you decide to take the plunge to retire in the Philippines, I'll take you for a beer. Oh, great. I'll meet up with you. That's no problem.
There's another guy asking to meet you up also from Negros.
Yeah.
Remember Ramel Atienza?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if
he owned a Mindanao. You remember? I told you.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the time out here.
That is in the middle of the Philippines.
Yeah. If I wasn't working, I had the time out here, you could just get up and just go somewhere. Mm-hmm. It'd be great because what do they call this? They call this the 1,000-mile island. Apparently, the Philippines would stretch from the tip of Scotland across the English Channel and halfway through France. It's more than 7,000 islands make up the Philippines. So it's hard to get in my head when it just seemed like a few dots on the Pacific Ocean, but it's so big. The landmass of the Philippines is so massive. It's mind-blowing how big this country actually is. Never mind, Big Clive, keep going. Yes, I bet the lorries are more than 50 years old. I've seen a lot of old army lorries, and a lot of the big lorries. They use them for sugarcane, don't they? For transporting the sugarcane, jam packed in the back with it.
That is 20 tons.
But they look old. They look battered. They look in like a terrible state, and I do question how mechanically roadworthy these lorries actually are, because they don't look very roadworthy.
But they don't go city. That's why nobody catching them. Just only around Maramag, right? Because the sugar milling company is very near.
Yeah. It's just the way things are here. It's like in England, you'd be in. You wouldn't be able to have these vehicles on the road. Just wouldn't be allowed. But over here, it's just like, and even you can tint out your windscreen. You can, and a lot of the lorries they've tinted out, so you've only got a small gap they're looking through. And I've seen cars with the whole windscreen's been tinted out, and they're trying to keep the sun off them, obviously. But yeah, it's this is what I mean. Everything in England is so, I don't know how to put it, but it's just like anything goes out here. You can modify anything however you like, and nobody even cares. So, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying all the sights.
It's gonna be illegal if you get caught.
Aircon costs more than heating. Yeah, I should think that sucks you electric.
Not really.
You don't actually use the aircon much in here. We normally use the fans, but right now the aircon's on. I'm quite cool now. Vehicle checks are easy money talks, but foreigners are not allowed to work in Philippines, only on special conditions. Yeah. Well, I've got no intention of working.
Yeah.
Every day's a Sunday here.
Yeah, retirement means retired, not work anymore. Well, you keep working and then you save money for your treatment.
Yeah.
You get ill.
I don't want to work my whole life to give it away to one of these care homes they're being built.
You save money for the future, so when you get ill, somebody can look after you, and you have to pay for them. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, the bloody everywhere I go around where I live, they seem to be building care homes.
Yeah, that's remember
it's big business.
I told you. I talked to someone, and then he, at the age of 60, he got a prostate cancer. He is separated to his wife, and then you work hard, like 30 years, 40 years, to save money, and then now you get ill, nobody looking after you.
No, they'll shove you in a care home and look after you until your money runs out.
That's it.
Then they'll give you a lethal injection, and that's you gone. The next.
That's the next.
Hope all well and having a good holiday. Yeah, it's I absolutely love it here. It's
For real?
I do. It's just nice. It's challenging, but it's nice. There again, what is life without a few challenges? You realise how much the UK is a nanny state when going to a country that has more and all the laws in the UK, it just drags you down. It just
Oppressing you.
Yeah, oppressive. There's no excitement. There's
It seems that you cannot move, right? You cannot turn left without permission.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people
everything is
just want to have a bit of excitement in their life. A bit of danger, a bit of fun. That's what life's all about. It's
like a roller coaster. Something you feel excited, something you feel relaxed.
We don't want to be sort of like wrapped up in cotton wool. It's for your safety. I don't give a shit about your bloody safety. I want to live life, not be mollycoddled into this false security that everything's safe and don't care. I like the excitement, the thrill of it all, of not being safe.
But you're scared of me driving fast, right?
No, the only reason I was worried about your driving was when I got here. When I first got here, I was tired, worn out. It started to piss with rain. We were on windy roads. I couldn't even see out the bloody windscreen, let alone you when you were driving. Your headlights weren't even on. In fact, we were driving the other day, and I'm saying to Kenna, "What is wrong with your headlights?" Because you kept putting main beam on, and I said, you're going to blind the other cars coming the other way. And I'm looking at when you put your headlight main beam off, I'm looking at the road and thinking, your headlights not lighting the road up. What the hell? So when we finally parked up, I said, switch your headlights on. You switch your headlights on, and I said, your headlights aren't even on. So then we worked out you've got to turn the headlight switch an extra bit. Then they come. All you had on was daytime running lights. No wonder you couldn't see where you were going. When you finally worked out how to switch your headlights on, voila, the road is actually lit up quite well because they've got the headlights on your car is them, you know, the ones that automatic. I think they're the high intensity lights are anyway, the HID or whatever they are. But
if you put automatic, they will sense if the road is too, you know, still bright or what. They will
automatic headlight control, so the headlights sort of like they'll go to the left and right and all that when you turn corners and stuff. But they weren't even on. Most of the time we've been driving around, the headlights weren't even on.
And this is scared of you.
Now you know how to switch the headlights on. It's like flipping heck. We can actually see where we're going. But of course, when I first got here, I was so tired and that I wasn't even paying attention. All I'm seeing is a black road ahead of me. There's no street lighting. The roads are terrible. We're flipping. You're going down a stretch of road, and then you've got to really slow right down because there's a crater in the bloody road that you've got to drive through, and then there's barriers. If you get to like a school crossing or something, or some point in the road where people have to cross, they just there wasn't any like flashing lights or nothing. There's just like a metal barrier in the road. So if you can't see where you're going, you're just going to crash straight into it.
Good, I have chicken eyes, right?
Yeah.
I got chicken eyes. I can see it clearly.
Have to live in province. Plenty laws in city. Yeah. Cigarettes are approximately £1.70 for 20.
I don't know. I don't smoke.
No.
I don't smoke, so I don't know.
No, I smoked for years, but I wouldn't be able to have a cigarette again. I still like the smell when someone walks past me. I catch the smell. I still like the smell, but I'd never buy a cigarette again. My time of smoking's over. So I don't know what the prices cost, but Peter, hi from the Czech Republic.
Hello. Where's Europe, right?
Yeah, Czech's more like Eastern Europe. That's where Monica comes from. Czech Republic.
Yeah, Monica.
When I was in China, had no mains gas. Everywhere had bicycle delivered gas. Lifts not required, and there's 10 floors. The in-laws are on the 9-story. Yeah.
He must be slim, right? Walking through the staircases.
You've got to climb up 9 flights of stairs to get
five. Then the people are already tiring. How much?
Right. Have a good. Thank you, Gary. I can't even say your name, but hello. I'm your big fan from South Africa. Blimey, I fixed a lot of things on Mark 5 through your video. Oh, excellent. Well, hello over there in South Africa. I hope you're...
It's Kenya, in South Africa. Kenya.
I don't know about Kenya. I know Johannesburg, Cape Town. Yeah, South Africa. That's from what I've seen, South Africa is a pretty dangerous place to be at the minute. Well, it probably always has been.
Why? The people.
No, it's not that. There's just a lot of trouble.
Like
if you live in South Africa, a lot of people that live out there they have armed security. They have security at their houses because they can get robbed and mugged and God knows what. So you've got to take precautions out there. I guess it's the same here, really. Well, maybe not quite the same. You haven't got to have armed guards with you unless you go to certain places around this country. But here, in just about every shop you go into, there will be a security guard in that shop doorway. So I said to Ken the other day, it's like some of these shops, they probably don't take that much in takings anyway, yet they still have the money to pay a security guard. So And even at the local supermarket, there's 2 to 3 security guards in there.
But you can't see any policemen, right?
No, it's very very rare we actually see police. You'll see them they'll drive around in pickup trucks, and they'll probably park up at the side of a street on a check. They'll make a checkpoint somewhere.
Because we believe that police are peacemaker. It means they will arrive when already peace. No more trouble. That is peacemaker.
Yeah. I've seen the army a few times. You'll get the army. When I got off at the airport, there were 3 army guys there, just walking down the street with their machine guns. There's some big guns on them. I thought I wouldn't mind having a go at shooting one, a few of them guns. That'd be a good kick. But somehow I don't think they'd let you. David, hope you're enjoying your holiday. Yes, it's great. When in China, I have to live on KFC. Do you know what? I think the food is a challenge over here. I have no idea what it's like in China.
But it seems he is married to a Chinese woman.
Yeah, but it's like you. You will eat all the dishes over here, and I'll look at what you're eating, and I'm like, no. No. It just looking at some of the foods here, I'm like, I'm not liking it.
I love Chinese food.
Wife and married in China, but I have even UK Chinese food.
That's
See,
right.
I think a lot of Chinese food I get on with okay. Chow meins and chop sueys and all that.
Shou mai is Japan. Chop suey is just mixed with this.
And have you seen any EV charging points?
No, never. No.
No.
We don't have electric cars here. I don't think. I never seen.
I've not
Maybe
seen.
in Manila. In Manila have.
Yeah, I should think in the big city up north.
Yeah, but not in here.
Not down here.
It won't work in here.
No.
You have to push.
No, everything down here is like it's either unleaded. They do diesel and or 2-stroke for the motorbikes. So no EVs. But there again, they're all a big con, aren't they? I was watching a lot of Chinese EVs are going up in smoke. Poor build quality. So I don't like EVs, but it's definitely not here. No. Out here, you definitely need a petrol car or a diesel. Probably petrol. Suzuki Super Carry vans available. Yeah, I've seen them in the UK. There's a lot of them over here though. David, I was on steak every day when I went to Philippines on holiday. They do have a lot of meat out here, pork and beef and that in their meals. So was it a lot of protein? So
and the chicken is safe because you're not eating much.
Yeah.
Until now, the chicken's still alive.
Yeah, well, I don't want you to kill your chickens just to feed me.
You know, I prepared the chicken and the pork and the pigs for you, but you're not eating much, so they are safe. Until now, they're still alive.
You used to have quite a lot of pigs here, but not so many. Now, before COVID, you were doing...
I have 100 more.
Yeah, you were doing well with pigs, but COVID killed the pig business, so to speak. So now it's chickens and ducks.
It's slowly getting back to the pigs.
Yeah, COVID has ruined a lot of people's lives, that's for sure. Or should we say the Chinese Communist Party's done that with their Wuhan lab.
The long-lasting product of China.
Yeah, the only thing that's come out of China that's actually lasted has been COVID.
Yeah. You haven't tried
Chowking?
Yeah, you haven't tried that.
No.
Yeah. We can go sometime. It's just like dim sum, some of the. It's like a fast food chain. Yeah, they have those Chinese food.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah.
John, and have you had the red horse? I have.
In a can, not in a bottle.
I have to say, it's a strong beer, isn't it? It's a strong beer.
How many percent?
If you wanted to get drunk quick,
Yeah.
Red Horse is the way to go.
6.9 alcohol.
Yeah, 6.9%. So it's the only way I can describe the Red Horse is equivalent to kind of like Stella Artois. So
Stella.
yeah, it's drinkable, but it's not the kind of beer I'd want to drink. It's a bit too strong for me. I'm preferring this San Miguel Light. it's nicer. But I'm not the kind of person that want to get drunk in a hurry. And it don't take much to get me drunk because I hardly ever drink. So I'd only have to have a few beers and I'm already starting to get tips. I think the last live stream I'd done, I was getting quite tipsy. Another San Miguel Light down the hatch. No. I have not seen a single one.
Yeah.
0 at the
Because
minute.
over here in Maramag, we are into SUVs. More on SUVs because just like a family car.
I think a lot.
You can carry the whole barangay, right?
Yeah.
The whole family. So we are into SUVs.
I think it's a lot more practical to have an SUV out here, especially for the roads. You're all right on the main highway, but as soon as you get off onto the tracks to go out to different residences, the roads can become non-existent. They're just dirt tracks. So you need something with a bit of a beefier suspension, something maybe a bit higher up as well, so you're not going to ground your car out. You certainly wouldn't be able to have a car with lower suspension around here.
It ruin your bumper though.
Greetings from Spain. Hello.
Hello.
Jose.
You know Filipino also Spanish people.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of. I mean, Spanish speaking is makes up a lot of the language here, doesn't it?
And we have a lot of Filipino Spanish family. Most of our surname is Spanish, like De La Cruz, Puente Bella, something like that, like Spaniard era.
Miles behind the chat. Yes, and
yeah,
it's now 5:17, and we're going to have to go, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, we're going to have to go.
You have to run all those comments. Maybe just mention the names.
I'm never going to get through it all. Thank you, Disney Free.
Okay, and then Gary Jones.
We're never going to get through all this.
David Morris.
Look at
it. Slowly.
It goes on from. We're never going to get through all the chat.
No. What? Paul and Fiona. Fiona, is it? Andrew. What's next? What's out next?
We are never going to get through all the chat. There's just too much. I'd have to do another one when we've got more time. So
you push it up.
You have to, on the trackpad, you have to get the mouse cursor on there, and then you have to use 2 fingers to move the trackpad up. So you have to put 2 fingers on it like that.
Okay, I'll read for you. Rob Evans, Gary Jones, David Mears, is it? I can't speak that one. Sounds like no, this one. Oh, sounds like no, lower. Sounds like a Russian. Next.
What are you looking?
Lower. No, this one. Sounds like a Russian, is it? Oh.
Oh, cool. What have you done? Greetings from Newmarket, horse racing town. Hello. I've been to Newmarket a few times, that's for sure. Next level is durian. Yes, I know. I've got that coming. And I don't want to eat it, but I'm going to have to. Hello, Finn. How are you? Hi Alan, only on now. I'm on my last night in Turkey. I hope you're having a great time. Well, I hope you're having a great time in Turkey as well. It must be nice and warm over there as well. I've heard Turkey is a beautiful country. I haven't been there, but that's what I've heard. Yeah, cameras is everywhere in the UK. I've not seen any cameras out here. Zero. You haven't even got any traffic lights, let alone cameras. No Mondeos. No Mondeos I've seen. Zero. Dean, fuller doggy snakes there, I believe. I've not seen any yet, so but I haven't been out in the fields long enough. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen anything apart. The only thing I've seen that's been concerning at the moment is a spider. Right, we're gonna go out before the sun comes up because I've got to catch the sunrise. So I'm going to have to call it a night. If I try and pull another one, I'll try and make it so I've got a bit more time. So I'm never going to sort of like get through all these comments, but it just goes on and on. Yeah. What's this? I'm just seeing if there's anything I can just sort of like. I'll try and get to the last few. Douglas, I loved being in my Mark 5 diesel at M6 services this Easter bank holiday, watching all the EV queue to up in lines of 20 plus waiting to hook up to broken charging points. Yeah. I don't think EVs are the way to go. They're a novel idea, and but for all of us, it's like, no, I can't see it working. I can't see everybody owning an EV. It's just the infrastructure is just not going to work. I'm coming back on the 23rd, so my time is running out. That's the problem. But no, I've been having a great time out here. I love the weather. I love the people. I love everything. I just love this slower way of life. It's just interesting. Everywhere you go, there's just so much going on. It's interesting to see it all. Just stand by the side of the road and watch life go by, so to speak. It's great. Like we went for a milkshake the other day in a little cafe, and it must have taken. I mean, it wasn't just a milkshake. It was like a smoothie sort of thing with ice and all that there to make it, strawberry milkshake. We were waiting for about 15 minutes to get the milkshake. We'd ordered it, but it took about 15 minutes to get the milkshake to our table. So you've got to have patience out here. That's one thing I've learned. Don't expect to get anything done anytime soon. So you've just got to learn to go with it and accept the way things are. So, but no, the more I get to experience things here, I'll let you know. If I get to put another live stream here, I'll do it when I've got a bit more time. I was only planning on letting this one run for about an hour anyway. But anyway, I better get on it because we're going to get out in the car and get up the road just so that we can see the sun coming up. Since we've got up so early, we've got up about 2:30 in the morning. It's now nearly 5:30, so we better get on. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining this live stream. It's been great. Yeah. Hope you all have a good Saturday evening. Have a drink, It's actually Sunday morning here, 5:30 in the morning, Sunday morning. So I'm going to do one. And my t-shirt, I love booking on. But anyway, brilliant. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to get on. So I will see you all in the next live stream or the next video I put out if I get something put together. I am putting another video together. It's just getting it done. I haven't got halfway through it yet. So have a good evening, everybody. See you all next time. Take care out there. And bye for now.